Hello, 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 and welcome to the Heart, Mind, and Voice Show. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi, fans out there. We're so glad to be here another Saturday night on our show. And if I tell you, this has been one heck of a week. If I tell
Yes.
you, one heck of a week. So many things has happened, good, bad, indifferent, you name it, it has happened. So we are so grateful to be here on this platform, and we are grateful to be here to speak to our fans out there. Of course, you know I'm Shalonda, aka it's Miss Happy Bill. We have Kim, known as Mysterious K, and Kanie, known as Queen A. So glad to be here tonight. Ladies, how are you guys doing? How was your week? Tell me something.
I'm amazing. My week was amazing. So I have nothing to complain about. I can say a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm just
Oh,
gonna
God.
claim that I'm great.
Oh, my Lord. What about you, Queen A? How's your week been?
It's been an amazing, eventful week. So much has happened this week, but it's all good. It's all God, but it's been an amazing week. And it is pouring outside now. I have my balcony open. I'm like, Lord, I just hope no water bugs. If the water bug fly in, you're gonna see me flying.
So you guys know that Queen A is originally from New York. So they're not used to water bugs like we are down south. So it would be really funny to see her on camera live running, just all of a sudden you see her, and sometimes we don't need to move in front of the camera, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and start with the show. We have an amazing business spotlight tonight that we will be introducing and promoting. But I do want to say this before we get started. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube page. Like and share on our Facebook. We are giving away prizes. So please like, share, and subscribe on our pages tonight so that you can be that lucky winner. We give out some really nice gifts. I promise. Take my word. We give out some really nice gifts. So be sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button on your phone, your laptop, whatever you're watching, iPad, whatever. Hit it. Hit the button. Also, I do want to say this for our own good and for others. We have a highly impactful show tonight. We're going to be talking about some really deep subjects from hot topics all the way through. We just want everyone to know these are our opinions, okay? So we do want to make sure that that is clear, okay? And so some of it may be research. So if you just do your research, you'll see whatever we talk about, and we back it up with research. Know that it is research and it is legitimate, but definitely these are our opinions. So moving on. So Miss Serious K, we're not gonna hold any more time because we want our special business spotlight to shine before everyone so she can just this business that she has. Oh my God. If you do anything for the little ones, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna scoot back, take the floor, Serious K.
Yes, okay, ladies. Tonight I want to introduce to you a lady that is a friend of mine. We first met, we hit it off. I mean, we just started talking like we just knew each other forever. Mrs. Priscilla Stern is a wife, and she's also a native of my hometown, Monroe, Louisiana, but now she resides here in Texas, in Frisco, Texas. Mrs. Priscilla Stern is the owner of Spoiled Rotten Boutique, a boutique for kids, a boutique for kids. So,
Mhm.
anyway, without further ado, I want to present to you the owner of Spoiled Rotten Boutique, Mrs. Priscilla Stern.
Hi, ladies.
Hello, and
Hello.
welcome to the show. We're so glad to have you on
Thanks for
tonight.
having me.
Yes, of course.
Thank
We're glad
you.
that you accepted our invitation. Now, Priscilla, tell us about this Spoiled Rotten Boutique, because anything that's for children is, I mean, blow it out the water.
Yes.
People love to buy for their babies. So tell us a little bit about
Yes.
your boutique.
Well, I launched Sport Walk Boutique actually this April, May, 2 years ago.
Wow.
It came about. My husband, he's always said, "You're so spoiled. You're so spoiled," and you're so spoiled. And I thought, oh, I've always been in retail and love clothing, especially children's clothing. So I thought, that has a nice ring to it. And for many years, I taunted over the boutique for kids. And my husband said, well, why not call it spoiled rotten since you're spoiled? That's how the name came about for the Spoiled Rotten Boutique. But I've enjoyed it. I love seeing lots of kids and all their pretty little clothes and looking all dainty. And I have one daughter, and when she was born, of course, I shopped. I shopped all the boutiques in Georgia. They do me just name on speed dial it by name. So I always wanted to. I said one day I was going to start my own boutique, and from there, I mean, I actually love it. I get a chance to go to some of the vendors, to hand select. I like to choose maybe one item or two items, not too many things alike, because that's what I like the feel of a boutique is, you're set aside with one piece or, from the rest of the kiddos. But like I said, I launched it 2 years ago. I do individual dressings as well. It don't have to be you going online to purchase something. I have several clients that call in and say they want a birthday or shower gift or any kind of gift, or my kiddo just needs some new clothes because they've outgrown their clothes. So I do lots of things. Personal, I travel to you, or like I said, you can't do it online. But anything that you need, please, call. I can get that little one looking like none other. Very spoiled. Very
So
nice.
Priscilla, you actually put together the outfits? Can you
Yes,
hear me?
I do. I have some. Most of the outfits I hand
Repeat your
select
question.
myself.
Oh wow, that's really
Okay.
good. That's really good. And they look so cute. Now, is it for the smaller children, or is there an age? Like, do you sell for kids like from newborn all the way to 10 or newborn to 5? What are the age limits?
The age is it's boys and girls.
Uh-huh.
Newborn to size 6.
Oh, okay. So newborn. Oh, my little one just missed it. Well, long shot. But they're so cute. We love them. Now, let me ask you this. Do you have anyone that do you ever do any like personal shopping? Do you have clients where they ask for you to, ship on a regular basis? Do you have any like particular clients?
Yes, I have several clients, and thank you to those clients. I have several clients who have special requests.
Mhm.
There are certain things that they're looking for, like I'm looking for leopard, I'm looking for
Oh my
a
goodness.
certain type of color, a certain type of dress. So there are those
Oh,
special clients. Some things they request on their own, and most of the times they let me do all the putting the outfits together. From my point of view or my taste. But I will
Oh,
I
You know,
love that.
You know what? That is like so interesting because it's called Spoil Rotten Boutique, and when you have a kid and your kid has their own stylist, wardrobe
oh
stylist,
my
that is
Yes.
definitely spoiled. Like
God.
you
Rotten.
can
yeah.
personalize between the outfits and your baby try it on, and that's definitely spoiled rotten.
And did
Yes,
I
it
hear
is.
you
I
say,
have several clients. Yes, that
did
I
I hear
just
you say, did I hear that you said one of the clients, or you said if they asked for like leather for a kid, you said leather?
He said,
Leopard.
leopard.
Oh,
I have
leather. I was like, leather? Okay.
anything that they request that I'll go out and I will personally look for it.
Oh, I can't imagine a little cute little
wow.
girl in a leather skirt and a jacket. Can you imagine that?
I
Like,
would dress
Bougie
I
babies.
would absolutely dress my daughter like that.
These are bougie
Yes,
babies.
yes, that's it. Bougie
Spore
baby.
Rotten. So add that
Yes,
Spore Rotten Bougie Boutique.
yes.
Or maybe have a component in your business called Bougie Babies. Like it could be a clothing line.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
sounds good. I like that. I like that.
Yes.
Yes, but I
And let
enjoy
me,
it. Like I said, I love it, and I've started doing a lot of pop up shops, and I drag my husband along with me to do all the setup. So,
so Priscilla,
uh,
so your
mhm.
husband had, so your husband said that you're spoiled. So he must have had a hand in you being spoiled, huh?
Yes, that's all his fault. But yes, and he came up with the name, so I appreciate that. So that was really nice. He
Aw.
came up with the name.
Now I'm very curious because
But
I
I
love astrology, Priscilla. What is your sign, by the way? Astrological
my
sign.
sign Aquarius. Aquarius. Is that what you
No
are?
wonder. No wonder. No wonder. Very good. Carry on, Queen A. Carry on.
No, I was just asking, because I mean, people always tell me I'm spoiled. I don't know where they get that from, but that's what. But I was just curious because I thought maybe you were like a Aries or possibly Virgo, but an Aquarius. Wow. Okay.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes. Well, hello there, my sister. Who am I? And no wonder you're so successful. We all are. Well, we're so glad, Priscilla, that we have a chance to spotlight Four Rotten Boutique, a boutique for the babies. So you have a great
That's
sale that's
right.
going on. We want
Please
every
tell me it's send them my way.
we will. We want to make sure that everyone knows that you have a sale that you currently promoting right now, 19.99. Is that on the entire inventory? Okay, on the entire inventory.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
All of
I
her.
love those
Yes.
glasses.
There's a
Look at those
website.
Oh, that is
sunglasses.
so cute. I just noticed those glasses.
Oh, can you
The website.
imagine?
Little
Oh,
babies. So cute. So
I need to find someone with a baby just so I can shop for that baby.
cute.
Okay, mine needs to come on and have a baby so Chrissy can be I'm gonna be the granny that's for the kids.
Oh
My
my
Oh,
God.
grandbaby
I am.
a stylist. Chrissy gonna be the stylist. So y'all
That's right.
contact Sport Rod Boutique at www.sport-rodboutique.com. Is that correct, Chrissy? Priscilla? I'm sorry. Look, I'm
That's
kind
it.
of, that's our little nickname. I'm like
That's
Priscilla.
it.
Okay.
And don't forget that additional clothing line, Bougie Baby. Is it Bougie? Did you say Bougie Baby? Bougie Baby. So,
Yes, she said booty baby.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Baby.
Well, thank you again, Priscilla, for being on. We wish you nothing but continued success
Yes.
in your business. And as soon as we get those grandbabiys, we will be
Thank you
there.
so much, ladies, for having
Thank you, Prissy.
All right.
Thank you,
me.
Priscilla.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
That is so cute. I
I
love
know.
especially the Bougie Babies. Oh, and I really hope she implements that. Bougie Baby.
Yeah, because she could do
Oh, I
yeah,
love
that'd be
that.
cute.
We love the babies. Well, moving on, everyone, please definitely support Priscilla at Spoiled Rotten Boutique. You have grandbabies. If you so happen to have little ones, definitely shop for your babies. Great deals at spoiledrottenboutique.com. Oh, wow, and I got it right. Look at that. I was saying it from memory. Look at that.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
Topics, ladies, tonight. Wow, our hot topic. You know,
Yeah.
it has a lot to do with what's going on right now. All of the racism and all of just the bullying and all the things that are going on. You know, with the law enforcement, with mostly our black men. Or as we saw this week, the black, women. What's her name? Micaiah, I believe, the one
Oh
um,
yeah.
that was shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, our hearts go out. We want to recognize those that have lost their lives besides to racism, to just stupidity, brutality in its highest degree and form, and just my opinion, mental illness to the max. You know, and we were discussing earlier, and I'm just mentioning, you know, with all of this going on, if is someone worth, because you don't like, just because they're black, my opinion, because they're black, you are willing to risk your livelihood. And I'm speaking of Chauvin. You know, he was convicted on all three charges. And was he, you know, I often wonder, did you think this far? Did you think about this when you were in the act of literally, you know, taking someone's life for just for no reason? And so, in the world's opinion.
Did you see his face?
Yeah.
Did you see his face while when he was convicted? When he was, it's like he had no type of emotion, no type of expression
at all.
And you know, and I wonder if he really felt that he was going to be found maybe not guilty, or was it that he didn't have a heart for it, or maybe he was just blocking how he really felt. And I wonder if if he's regretful of his decisions that he had made that day.
You know,
yeah,
you never know. unless someone, you know, wants to do a documentary on him, or go and talk to him and write a book and monetize off of it. I don't know, but can you? It's like you want to sit them in a room and you want to ask them, am I worth your livelihood? You possibly never seen your family again. And Lord knows what can happen to you once you go to the pen, once you go to prison, and they know, you know, prisoners know what's going on. They watch TV.
But you know, he's in a federal prison. So, you know, in the federal prison, you know, I mean, they do have people that's kind of crazy too, but the federal prison, they're a little bit more protected. But
we try to be, but then, you know, you have those that are on our side.
Oh yeah, and it's sometimes an inside job too.
Yeah, a lot of times, you know, in our opinion, a lot of times, you know, it's an inside. It's been proven, you know, through documentaries. It's been proven in interviews. You know, many interviews. You know, on TV, on, you know, those streaming channels, time and time again. So my heart just goes out to those families that have lost, because you know, we haven't experienced that, and God, Lord, you know, we count our blessings every day, because you don't even want to think about that. You don't even want to think about that.
Yeah.
And then, not to mention, to see Sergeant Pendleton that was bullying the little young black guy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even like to watch that, because I have watched the video twice. And I was just so taken back at how first of all, he's a big guy, he's muscular, and you know, and he's just him, and the black guy was nice about it. You know, he was you know, just like, hey, I live in this area, and he's just pushing him. He didn't put his hands on him at all. And it's just so sad and disheartening to see this type of behavior. I don't even know what to say about it.
You know what? Go ahead, Sirius K. Were you going to say something?
No, I was just going to say, you know, in the young man, I found out his name was DeAndre, and you know, this is like modern day slave patrol. You know what I mean? Back in the day when they used to, you know, slaves running, and then, you know, white men see them and they, where are you going? Let me see your papers. You know what I mean? It reminds you of that. And then he tells him, you don't belong in this neighborhood.
Kind of like Jim Crow laws.
This is the first time I can walk wherever I want to walk. So how can you tell me I don't belong in this neighborhood? So only certain people can walk this neighborhood, only white people. What are you saying? You know, and the guy didn't even think when he was talking to the guy how calm he was and the way he was acting. Because some people don't know how to they don't see mental illness. Because, you know, there's rumors that the guy, he had underlying health conditions or a mental illness is the reason why he walks a lot and he is in the neighborhood a lot and this and that.
Mhm.
And my thing is, I think I said this before too on another show. When we have friends or loved ones that have mental illnesses and we know they walk around and stuff like that, we need to check on them. Ask them, do you need a ride?
Yeah.
We don't want them to subject themselves to that type of treatment,
Yes.
Ask them, do they need a ride? And on them, where are you? How are you? Where are you right now? I'll come get you. Because people like this guy will take advantage of a person like DeAndre.
Yeah.
Mm. And it's I hate to say this, but blacks have we have put a certain stigma towards society and how they view us.
Mhm.
And it's like something that, first of all, I don't condone racism at all. I mean, on any type of level.
We know.
But yeah, but it's like like blacks, like if you honestly speaking, like we really have this stigma that we have to change, because it's like it's not just a place of hatred, but it's a place of fear. Like people have become to fear us, even blacks on blacks. And I can even say, I can attest to myself where I was going outside at night to my car in the parking garage, and I saw, and I hate to say it, but it's very truthful. And I saw a black guy, and he had a hood, and he was walking around. I'm like, hey, why is he just walking around? And I'm watching him, and he's just walking. And I only say this because there's a lot of theft in the area. I would have felt this way about anybody walking around, not just blacks, but it was a lot of theft in the area. And I remember looking at him like, what? Okay, like why are you walking close to the cars? Like why are you walking in the air? And then he had a hood on. And it's hot outside. I'm like, what the heck you have a hood for?
Yeah.
So naturally, my instinct goes to, are you trying to steal? And and it's sad to say, because it's a black person, a black male, and he's looking at me, and he's first of all, he's staring at me, and then he's like, he just say hello, and I just said hello, and I moved on, and I just walked back into my apartment. But it's just very interesting how it has been a stigma and a stereotype on blacks for so long, and we definitely have to find a way to change that stigma, change that stereotype. And again, we have it against each other. But racism is rapid. And I would love to go on, not today, but I would love for us to have an astrology session, a spiritual, because it's something spiritually, astrology, that I would love to get into, and what is going on around that, because now we're in Aquarius season where things are now coming to light. Things are being exposed, things are being truthful, and people are on a warpath where they're rebelling. Like they had with that guy, the military sergeant.
Yeah.
Protesters, and they had to come remove him and his family. So people are not putting up with it no more.
No,
and we're in that age where people are not putting up with it. And I want to say this, Black people is our time.
Yeah, it is.
But Queen A, I was listening to what you were saying. When you saw him, it wasn't that he was Black, it was his demeanor and like you said, what he had on and stuff like that. But when you think about the sergeant and DeAndre, it was skin color, because he just had on some shorts and a t-shirt. So if you would have seen him, Queen A, you wouldn't have felt threatened. Like you say, it could have been even a white guy and Hispanic, whatever. If he had on a hoodie and it's hot outside and he looking all crazy, then you'd be like, okay, something not right. So I think, like you say, that stigma, I think we have to, our young men, the mothers and the fathers, we have to talk to them about the way they're dressed and, and how they're looking at, we have to talk to them and say, hey, don't sag your pants. Hey, you don't have to wear what they call a wife beater and all this, hoodies. And you have to be careful how you present yourself, because people do judge you based on how you look.
Yeah.
I tell my son,
I
tell my son all the time, sometimes when he's driving and he has on a hood, and my son is 25, and I'm like, okay, Jay, you take off your hood. And it's like I have to speak to him sometimes about presenting himself in a certain way. And he's like, well, why can't I just be who I want to be? And it's sad. Like when he said that that really stood out to me because we should be who we want to be. But I said, unfortunately, we're in the South and we're in a certain area. So, sometimes I don't want to say you have to look the part because you want to be yourself, but you also don't want to draw attention to yourself, especially for a young Black male in certain areas in the South.
Yeah.
Or anywhere in the world, not just the South, but just anywhere in the world.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I was listening to one of the bloggers today, and they were frustrated because they don't understand why we have to always change for them.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't they changing? Why do we have to always change? And that's another way to look at it. I mean, it's all kind of ways to look at it. I think that, we have work to do too. It's never on one person. It's on, the entire, community, not just on one person in that community. So, we all have to do our part we have to have those hard conversations with our millennial sons, and daughters, because it's not just, and we've seen that it's been proven it's not just them that's been harassed and killed,
Yes.
It's been the women and the men. So we have to have those hard conversations with them and just let them know they're not changing us. We just have to rise above. We have to rise up, and we have to do what we know is right for us. And yes, stand up for your right. Never bow down or give in or whatever. And my thing is this: wouldn't it be something? I don't know if you guys ever watch the Westerns. Do anybody watch Westerns? Okay.
Love them.
Well, I used to hate the Westerns. Okay. And my mom, she is committed to this day. She's a committed fan of all Westerns. And so sometimes I think about that because, every man was for himself.
Right.
Every man was for himself. And hey, let's get in the middle. Let's draw and may the best. But you think about that and how the world, revolves. You know what that means, how it revolves and how everything revolves. And so you don't know if that will come back. You just don't know in what fashion or form, because a lot of things come back just in a different way, in a different presentation, should I say. But things definitely, come back, especially and we can't negate the fact that the seeds that you sow, they will come back one day and harvest.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a universal law.
Right.
As well as the word, the seeds that you sow, and that's with everybody from high to low, good and bad. The seeds that you sow, they will come back. That's just like when you plant a garden, it will sprout. Take care of it. And so that's the same way. If you keep doing evil and harm and people wrong and bullying, people eventually get tired. You keep the dog, you keep kicking that dog. You don't think he's gonna bite? I'm just saying, it's like this is common sense. This has nothing to do with, oh my God, it take a genius. This has nothing to do with, we're going against this law, going against that. But it's common sense. If you keep picking and picking, there's going to be repercussions behind, your actions. So that's why I said in the beginning, is your livelihood, is it worth, is it worth
don't think about it.
Going away? Right. Going away forever. No reason. No reason. Or if you feel like it was it wasn't worth that. It's not worth your family. So that's a very heavy conversation. We can go so deep. We can get so deeply involved with that and just go in so many ways with that serious case. So we're going to move on to our topics that we have tonight. And we hope that Miss Queen A come back. We're going to be talking about her favorite topic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I was just saying we're getting ready to talk about your favorite topic, and we all know what that is. I wish one of our fans would just type in the chat, what is Queen A favorite topic, y'all? Now you know it'll be real fast.
Astrology.
Astrology.
This show, she found a way to talk up.
You know what? Thank you, Cedric. Really?
So the question has been asked, should wives use sex as a leverage in marriage? So meaning, should wives hold back? And we're talking about marriage and sex right now. Marriage and sex, not relationship, not dating, all that. We're talking about being married where you're like obligated and committed to take care of your spouse. I say your spouse, I didn't say your husband, I didn't say your wife, I say your spouse. So both are obligated to take care. But what if that man, as you know they do, really go there with us, one night or for the entire week or whatever schedule you're on. And so when it's that time, you say, nope, I'm not doing nothing. I'm tired. My head hurt. I'm on my cycle. We're just being transparent. And you hold back. So ladies, do you think that is wrong? I mean, I want to hear from Miss Sex Queen A.
You know what? That's bad to have that stigma. That is so bad. But I would say this. I'll try to keep it short because there's so many aspects to that topic. For one, I would say it really depends. I'm not the one to withhold. If I'm married, I'm like, let's get it on. If you're mad at me, you have to figure that out, but you better pull it on and come on. But I want to say this, because I have been married before, and it was, I hate to say it, but we did fight a lot. And because we fought a lot, physical, verbal, sometimes I disconnected emotionally. So when there's some type of harm in a relationship, women are emotional creatures. We connect sex to our emotions. Yes, so when our emotions is not in the right, position or like in the right state of mind, we're not in the right state of mind, we tend to withhold sex. Sometimes not what we want to do. However, sometimes some people are manipulative, and when you withhold is because typically you are hurt in some way. Typically, right. And then if it's not that you're hurt, sometimes it could be a sense of control or manipulation. So it's different aspects to it. But I would say this: if your spouse has wronged you in any way, like verbally, hitting on you, then absolutely women will withhold, or men sometimes will withhold. I don't know, but should you withhold in general? Hell no. Listen to the Marvin Gaye, let's get it on.
Okay, calm down. Serious K. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so listen. So I don't believe in withholding sex either. I don't believe in that. Now, if you're sick or like you say, that time of the month or whatever, if you have a compassionate spouse, then they'll be like, okay, you know what? Yeah. But if that person is not so compassionate, then y'all got another problem. So maybe y'all need to talk about that. Okay. Because you're not supposed to, as a married couple, you're not supposed to withhold sex. Okay. I mean, this is biblical. This is in the book of Corinthians. You only supposed to withhold sex, if you're just, if you guys agree to it, only for a time, like maybe you're fasting or something like that. But you got to come back together. This keeps the enemy from coming in and somebody want to, dip and dabble or whatever. Now, if you suspect infidelity, okay, a conversation needs to be had. Y'all need to hurry up and squash that, take care of it, and resolve the issue so y'all can come back together. If not, move on your separate ways. But no, I do not believe in withholding sex. You mad? That's all right. Okay, we come on. Let's do this and go on, turn your back and I turn mine.
I'm not the only one. Right. I'm not the only one.
No. I mean, because if I'm that mad, then that means that the relationship is about to come to an end for me to get that mad. Me. If I get mad and withhold, that means that I'm unattracted to you. I don't want you anymore. I'm still attracted to you. Yeah, I'm mad, but I'm still attracted to you. I still want you. So that's just me. That's just how I roll.
Raise my hand on this. So I am speaking for all the women that may withhold. I understand if you withhold because, as Queen A said, women are emotional beings. So it's not that we are withholding. Our intent is not to, your intent is not to withhold. I'm saying we, but anyway, our intent is not to withhold, to invite the enemy in. Although, as Serious K say, biblically, we're not to withhold, that will, invite the enemy all the way in, or it could possibly. But I look at it twofold. If your man is as a man of faith, I'm not going to even say a man of God, definitely not going to say a man of God, from the things here lately. But if he's a man of faith, he knows how to get on his knees or wherever he goes to pray, just like you do. He knows how to, at least try to have a conversation with you, or just be available for whenever you're ready to have that conversation about whatever you guys are in disagreement about. So it can happen. It's normal. It happens. It's not good that it happens, and it shouldn't happen, but it does. And it's more common than not. So it's not like, oh my God, if you're not sleeping with your, oh my God, so the thing is, what you need to do, is, get some help, get some counseling, work it out, do your self-work, work that out, and, get back on track with things if it's that severe. But if it's just something that you guys are mad about, maybe I need to take a break, let woo-woo chill out and let ooh-ooh chill out, and take a break anyway. But more on the serious tip, get the help that's necessary, so that you and your spouse can come together in love, because it is important. It is, spiritual, and, you don't want to give room for the enemy in any kind of way, but it is normal. So don't think that, oh my God, if I don't sleep with him, he may go out and cheat. No, if you got a man of faith, that's not going to be the first thing that he thinks about,
Happy Bill, you brought up a very powerful, you just said something, because, and that's something that, so many women, I can't say men, I don't know, I'm not a man, but that's something that so many women has done, where their marriage could have been in some type of challenge, and they felt like to keep him, not even just in marriages too, just in general relationships, to keep him, they had to keep on giving themselves when the situation went bad, or with the relationship went sour. So that's something to even discuss, like, as to why we do that as women. Again, because we're emotional, we want to feel like we love, we want to feel like we want it, and that we desire, we want the man to love us. So because of that, we give into that aspect. We may not be enjoying it at that point though, because we are offended or upset in some way. But let me say this, when I was in a relationship, I mean, granted, at the time I was not married to this person, but we were in a relationship, and I remember when I did not want to engage sexually, and he was mature enough to come to me and communicate, like, okay, what's going on here? Like, what's the issue? It wasn't like he was still trying to get it by whether I was upset or not. It's like because he knew my body language. He knew when I was off. He knew emotionally I was disconnected. So he came to me even before he engaged in that way. And he said, listen, he was like, let's talk. What's the issue? What are you upset about? What did I do, or whatever? And we talked it out, and it was off the chain after that, though. Right?
Oh God help us! But when you said key things, Lord help her. You said some key things about women will still go there even if they are. It's like, and I've said this time and time, and I know that we're all different. We're all created differently, but if there's no connection there, there's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? Like there will be no sex. So there's no connection there. I'm just not that. And and I look at if you're out there, or live in places where there's legal prostitution, that's one thing. That's their job. That's what they do, and that's the exchange here. You know what I'm saying? So sex, money. So that's in that approved legal land. But in other realities, when we're talking about marriages, if there's a disconnect there, and then women still go there, and men and women do still go there, that is internal abuse, a form of internal abuse, I would say, in my opinion, because because you're already hurt, you're already scarred by whatever that situation was, and especially if you're withholding, you are real hurt. That's not because you know, he didn't want peanut butter, and I told him I wanted jelly with it. It's
Yeah.
not something simple, but it's real deep, you know, when you guys want to withhold. So you need to have those conversations, like you said. And then for those that do it
Yes.
anyway, that control, because some women feel as though, well, you know, if I go ahead and do it, maybe he'll do this. And he may not still do it, although most
Exactly.
but there are some
Exactly.
men out there,
Mhm.
especially they're Aries, but there are some men out there
Wait, what? Wait, what? I
said,
heard the slip. What?
I said there are some men out there, Aries. Now, all you men that
Okay,
are
wait. Because you know I got Aries somewhere in my chart. So wait. What? I heard that little slip of the tongue.
you know, I'm just saying.
What you saying? What you saying, girl? What you saying?
I mean, all things are okay with them. But anyway, so I think
Yes,
that
well.
you know, it should be an even ground there. I think that, you know, it's not that they're withholding because, you know, they want you to suffer or whatever, but they want you to know they're hurt. That's the main message behind withholding. And I'm not gonna ignore that or not acknowledge, you know, when the wife is hurt, you know, because all of us have been there.
What do you
Yeah.
how do you ladies
And-
feel when a man withholds?
Oh, girl, that's crazy. Like,
I mean, I'm a little different when it comes to that, so I'll let y'all take the floor on that.
but you just threw me off because I had something that I wanted to say, and when you said that, you threw off my whole. Oh my god! Oh my god! When a man with see again, a conversation needs to be had
So
because
now we're the
I
queen of Sirius K that are very sexual beings. But go ahead, Sirius K.
am. So a conversation needs to be had, and y'all know I'm a communicator. Again, that's what I was gonna say earlier when you talked about withholding because women are hurt. But see, sometimes, okay, I'm about to get some backlash. Sometimes that's our fault because we need to open our mouth and say what's wrong with us. Sometimes we don't say nothing. We just want to, you know, lay there and give it to them and give it to them, and we don't want to.
Sometimes they
I
don't
haven't
know
been.
how to pay.
I don't want you. I just don't want you. You're not gonna get none. So, but I'm saying, but women that do that, open your mouth and communicate and say what it is. What's
Sometimes
wrong?
they
What's
don't know how to communicate it. And you know, and then think about when you have those stubborn spouses like Aries in particular that are stubborn.
But that's why I encourage them. That's why I'm trying to encourage them to talk, say something. If you can't, then at least try to talk to your spouse and say, hey, we need to go to therapy. We need to talk to somebody because that's very unhealthy. Like you say, for that woman, it's that's almost like, I don't know, I want to say rape.
But then look at our community. Look at our community, in our particular community, our culture. Our men do not go to therapy as quick as others. And you know,
no, they don't.
It takes a lot of convincing. It takes a lot of, you know, pushing and encouraging. They don't. And I make reference because I bring it to reality. You know, what I have experienced. There are some men, in particular, where I keep mentioning Aries, where I've had experience where they are. A lot of people are stubborn. I mean, we're, you know, a lot of people too involved with, What'd you say, Sirius K?
I just said myself included. I had that experience, and that's why I'm no longer with that person. I mean, you know, then that's when
some people are very
like,
but it doesn't mean because you know you had that experience. The thing is, we want to make sure that Heart, Mind, and Voice want to send the message that it happens, it's normal. Now here's a solution. We're not saying it's the solution, but here is a solution. You know, a conversation needs to be had. A conversation, you know, and if you have to take it, sometimes there may be two mature adults. There are some mature adults out there that will have that conversation, husband and wife. If you need a mediator, sometimes you need that. That's common. A mediator that is not taking a side, but taking the side that is right. And, you know, it doesn't have to do with him or her, but the side that is right, because the right thing to do is for you to take care of each other, you know, not to withhold anything, you know, because you both belong to each other, you know. So, but the thing is that it happens. And so when it happens, get some Yeah, go talk to somebody because you don't want it to be an often thing, although it can be. But you don't want it to be because it can result in what you said. It will eventually, if you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, somebody's going to be out the door. So, and it could go either way.
Mhm.
Queen A, you got something to add?
You know, I mean, what you were saying was like very, very key, and it's important to get some therapy around it. But I'm telling you, like that withholding is a huge topic, and I would love for us to have a whole nother discussion. And I can say that because, and Happy Bill, you have saw my release, and you know what I came from, and I was a person that withheld everything. Like I was horrible at communication.
Right, right.
And but I want to say this, when a person withholds, and we tend to take that personally, and because it seems like it's directed at us, but deep down that person is hurting in some capacity, because again, it's not by we are human, is our nature to connect. And when we are withholding, whether it's in communication, whether it is in sex, I don't understand how people withhold in sex though, but but I'm saying whether it's, whatever it is, it's like that's a deeper, issue. And it's challenging when there's some deep rooted stuff there. And when a person withholds sexually in a marriage and they cannot communicate that, that's a marriage waiting to, fail. It's a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like what happened when a person don't even want to go to therapy or see, or they may not even be aware that they even need some support and assistance in that area. So that's a whole nother,
That's a whole nother conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, like they said, it will lead to divorce, and you don't want it. Come on now. Like I said, it could be, and everybody. When you think about it now, I don't. Some arguments that you have currently, if you're in a relationship, if you're in a marriage, you think about it days later, like we were arguing about that. Oh God, and I can go back in my mind and think about past arguments, and they have been real stupid. Really, really stupid. At that time, they did not seem stupid. I mean, they seemed like there was a point being made. But so it's not that we don't want to, downgrade your point of views or your, how you're feeling at the moment, because like I say, we're all different. Everybody's different. So with him not including the jelly, that's a problem. That could be a problem for somebody, and I'm just making it light, but we know that there are issues where it's like, well, I don't feel, for instance, a good argument. If your spouse have female friends, I think we talked about that one time. If she has male friends, that's an argument waiting to happen if there is no boundaries there, and then some are very open with it to where we talk on the phone, we hang out. I mean, we can really go there. And so, and speaking of going there with spouses getting into it and having confrontations, let's move on to this confrontational topic: child support, Lord. Child support. So the question is, should women use child support to pay other expenses besides their babies at Bougie Baby Boutique? Or should they strictly just shop at Bougie Baby's Boutique and not pay nothing else with their child support? Okay, let's see what you got to say, Serious K, on this one.
Girl, so listen. So I'm a baby mama. So of course I received some support. And I tell you, I would be a trifling mother if I bought my son some tennis shoes, knowing that our electric was going to get turned off. Okay. When he can wait till next week, when I get paid or when I get some money to get some shoes. So child support is for whatever. That's what it's called. It's to support the child, to take care of the child needs, necessities, whatever. That means put food in their bellies, extracurricular activities, clothes, keeping a roof over their head, whatever it is. Now, some men think that you just buy my kids some clothes and that's it. But do they actually know how much it takes to take care of a kid? They don't, because
They feel like
medicine. And I'm telling you, and boys, my son, he would eat $300 worth of grocery a month. So, I mean, if we going half, and that probably really don't even hit the surface, touch the surface, you know. So, I once that money leaves his hand, there should be no questions as to what that mother is doing with the money, unless you see that the child is being neglected. Then you want to say, hey, listen, now I send you money. You looking good, your hair done, your nails done, and my child walking around here with raggedy clothes on and tennis shoes on or whatever. You may not need to go back to the courts and see if there's something you need to do can be done about that. Now that's a different story. But with my child support that I received, my son, I mean, whatever I needed it for, that's what I used it for, and he was well taken care of. So absolutely use that money, sisters, to take care of your kids, feed them, whatever you need to do. Okay.
Take care of her. Absolutely. I receive support too. And whatever is necessary at that time, if your baby is taken care of in whatever capacity as far as material things, clothes and shoes and whatever, if, like you say, if your lights, that baby stay in the house with you too. And if the lights are out, guess what? He can't see either. Or whatever the case, water, heat, whatever, and it's really, the child support is an order by the judge. And this was a conversation one day when the judge is mainly concerned, of course, about the well-being of that kid. We know we've experienced it, we have to say these things. It's by the, they care about the well-being of the child. So they're going to get all into your business when it comes to financials and your stability and all of that. And so once they realize, okay, who's the more stable parent, and usually most of the times it's the mom, and men be stable. They're stable too, but it's got to be some strenuous circumstances for a judge to take the child away from mom. That's just the way of life. So when that is ordered. And my thing is this, I've never seen, and you guys can correct me, or anybody that's watching can type in the chat. I've never seen a person go to jail because they didn't visit during their times that the judge ordered. But I've many times seen men go to jail because they did not pay their child support.
Right.
That, he didn't come pick them up for Christmas, Judge. Okay, you're going to serve some time because you didn't pick them up for Christmas. I've never seen that. So the way that I see it is that, okay, so this is the most important thing. Now, and then you can look at, even with the celebrities, of course, the more they make, Lord, those orders be for real, where the kids are getting $20,000 a month or just whatever, that parent is making, because they say, well, the child has to live as comfortable as that parent that's making the bulk of the finances. And
that's for $1 million too.
Custodial parent. So my thing is, that child has to be taken care of, because that child is not 99% or 90% the mom, but that child is 100% mom and 100% dad. It's a mixture of both, and so just like if we were together in the same house, you'll make sure that that child is taken care of, lights on, whatever is necessary for the household, that child will benefit. Or ain't no different. You decided to take care of two households, right? Be it man, be it woman. Queen A, what you have to say about it?
Well, I think I never had any issues. I heard a lot of stories around it. And I want to just say this, like my ex-husband, my son's father, he was amazing. And I thank God for him, and how he supported not only my son, but he supported me, although we were going through a divorce. And he made sure that I was taken care of, as well. So I thank God for a type of man that, like that. But in terms of this story, like I've heard so many stories. I've heard friends and just so many situations. And I was with a friend the other day, and she was telling me how she was having some issues around her child support, and he wasn't paying, but she didn't want to go through the hassle of wanting to file again and so forth. So she kind of sit there and suffer. And I'm like, I don't get that. Like, why suffer? And he felt like, well, I'm in a relationship, so I can't take my son right now. I can't do this. It was always a bunch of excuses. And, and I just felt so hurt for her and so bothered by that, because he didn't want to step up and, but sometimes it's like, well, I asked her, well, how come you don't try to get more support? And she felt like she didn't want to go through all of that because it was just too much turmoil. It was just too much stress around it. And I mean, she's young and she has 2 kids, and to see her working 2 jobs all day, and she doesn't really have the support around someone helping her with her children. And I tell you guys, that's disheartening. But not only, I want to say this, it's not only just men, of course, who's not doing their part of the job. How do you feel about those women who's not doing it? I mean, I don't know too many women who's like that, but there's stories that we talked about the other day that is in the court system, and the man is, suing them for child support. And there's a lot of things too. Sometimes women, they use child support as a way to get back at the man. But one thing, it just, it's so many levels to it. And it's such a controversy topic. But I just think this is a disgrace when a person, whether a man or a woman, does not want to contribute to taking care of their child. Like, you cannot leave all of that on that one person, because you both made it together. You both did it together. You both laid down together. And sometimes people may feel like, oh, but a child lives there, you're used to it, like, and they get too comfortable in not wanting to support because they're not there in the moment. So
Yeah.
I want to say too, on women, there have been said, because I don't know any, but there have been stated that some women just use child support to get back at a man. I think that could be the case when when they're really taking care of the child without you even having a court order to give, make sure everything is okay. Even if it's within the home. If it's okay to make sure that mom is okay. She has your child, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay to ask, are you okay? Do you need anything? And that's why it's so difficult, going into another topic for another day. It's so hard for blended families to really come together, and hats off to those that are mature enough to understand the dynamic between mom, dad, child, wife, the second wife or the other woman or whatever, so it's a blessing when everybody can get along, because it's necessary and it's required. It's not if I want to, it's required, because you are, you become that man's new wife, or you become the mom's new husband. You take part in raising that child as well. That child is pertinent as the new wife or the new husband, as the old ex-wife and the ex-husband. So all of you guys are a family. Take lessons and notes from the Pickett Smiths and from the, whomever have showed openly and outwardly that you can't get past the jealousy, basically. The jealousy, the hurt, the feeling of betrayal, disloyalty, and all of that. You can get past that for the child's sake, even if it's not for your own, for the kids, because it's necessary, to get past that. So the truth about go ahead.
When you were saying that, what came to mind, and you and I spoke about this before recently, and and we remember as children when our parents have not kept their agreement. And when parents, because I know I've done this with my son, and the way he reacted, like he said to me so many times, like, Mom, you have not kept your promise. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and that was hurtful to hear him as an adult, to remember those things as a child. Like, but you said this and you said that and you had not. So it's important important to, you know, whether you
Say it again.
not with the you know, you can't get along with the spouse or whatever, you have an agreement with your child, whether you know it or not, you have an agreement. And it is so important to stick to that agreement no matter what. And because it's like that child will remember that, and it sticks to the heart of the child even to adulthood. So it's so important to hold your agreement. Even in court, if the judge says, listen, you have to watch your child Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it is, stick to that agreement. You said to your child, I'm going to do this for you. If you can't do it, communicate that well enough and make it up. And it's so important for us as a people in general to stick to our agreements for ourselves, to our, especially to our children. And if you can't stick to it, make a new agreement. Communicate that. Just don't say, "Oh, it's okay," and not, you know, and not. And I'm so learned. These are hard lessons I had to learn, is sticking to agreements. And even my child, he's an adult now, and just sticking to an agreement. If it could be something simple. If I say to him no, if I tell him no for something, like he asked for my car the other day, and I'm like, well, no, you know, and then I go back sometimes. Like if I say no, I'm going to stick to that. If I say yes, I'm going to stick to that. If I cannot stick to it, then I have to communicate a new word to him and let him know I can't. So agreements, y'all, is so important. And we tend to be selfish and, like, you know, feel like we have to build our lives. Like we have to build our lives and say, okay, well, I got this to do. I have to work. I have to, because that used to be me, because I was a workaholic. I mean, I'm still kind of a workaholic, but you know, but that was me where I always put work or other situations ahead of my child, when I should not have done that. And you know, because I felt like the spouse and my ex-husband was there to step in when I could not step in. But it was not okay. So, you know, so it's important to hold your agreements in life to yourself, to your child, to your spouse, your loved one. Hold your agreement, stick to it, even if it hurts, stick to it.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that, to yourself.
Hold on.
Because if you know, I've made some major, not something small. I'm not going to eat chocolate this week, but I'm talking major life-changing vows to myself, and it changed the course of my life forever. You know, think about it. But it has changed the course of my life because I've said those vows to myself. Things I said, I will never do this. I'm this, I'm that. It's only fair. And literally, legitimately, it was only fair. It wasn't, I was thinking I was high might or anything, but I went against those agreements. So agreements, I'm telling you, as you said, Queen A, are important. They are essential. Do not go back on your, even with bills, and you make, you know, you contract, you got a 2-year contract with Spectrum, Comcast, or whomever, or AT&T, whomever, you know, and break that contract and see won't include your credit if you don't pay it. You know what I'm saying?
You know.
I'm just saying, you know, so it's saying you're even more, you know, you're even better than a bill, you know. So vows that you make to God, vows that make to your babies, you know, your children, grown or babies, it doesn't matter. Stick to them, because it makes a difference in their lives. I've had that conversation, you know, with my son's father. If you say something, no matter what, stick to it. You know, if I say something, no matter what, I have to stick to it. I'm not perfect, but you know, it's like when you know better, you do better. You know, that is a true statement. When you know better, you do better. So if you become aware of something, but yet you still do what's not good, what's wrong, what's damaging, then there is something wrong with you. That's where you have to check yourself at the door and get yourself together, you know, and begin to do the work on yourself. Exactly. So, you know, child support, I'm telling you, it can stem off all different types of ways. And it is, you know, it is for the child. And as one of you ladies said, I can't remember who, but it's to support, you know, not just financially. Yes, it is money, but that money goes across the board with the health. What about that? Health insurance, extracurricular activities. You know how much swim classes cost? You know how much martial arts cost? You know how much you want them to play football or gymnastics or whatever. You know how much that costs?
But
And you
some people may disagree and say you don't need to do all of that.
well,
So
okay.
that's a whole other topic too.
That you're right. That is a whole nother topic. But keep in mind, this is for the well-being of your kid. You may not have that Einstein, but you may have Jackie Robinson.
Right.
You know, so or you know, some of these little kids that are gifted with music, you know, you don't know, and whatever that gift or talent, skill that they have and they're good at it, you want to nurture it because you want them to blossom in whatever it is their little dreams and desires are. Because when they do, and I was having this conversation with someone, when they do get of age and they get to that, to walk across that stage and get that diploma. Especially now, we always talk about how college is becoming more and more of, I don't need to go to college. I'm gonna start my business. Whereas our generation was, we going to college. You know, college is important. College is important, but there are so many millennials that are truly making it. In starting their business, so many of them, or getting different types of certifications or whatever. But you want to nurture that, and you want them to have identify that gift at an early age, so when they do walk across that stage and able to get out of your house, they're going with a plan and not just, I have no idea what I want to do. You know, if they do have an idea, they still may not know which way to go with it, but at least you'll have the knowledge with them, and you'll know how to steer and direct them or put them in the right places or guide them to the right, you know, people or whatever the case may be. Did y'all want to add anything else to child support?
I want to say when it comes to one thing, I also learned the kids themselves, was very important to them too is time. Because when you're a kid and your dad is telling you, I'm coming to get you, and they don't come,
say it again.
That kid is very, we talk about like keeping the word and stuff like that. The kid ain't asking. Now, as mothers, you know, we need the money to take care of the kid. But kids, when they're little, like maybe your son's age, they want their parents' time. Time is very important to them. Get that time. I mean, it's just everything. And when you think about it, like when we become adults, and some of us that didn't have our fathers in our lives, we go, well, you know, see, that's why I'm mad at my dad, because, you know, he told me he was going to come pick me up. He never came, and he never gave me that time. You know, we don't talk about, oh, yeah, you know, he didn't give me no money. We do talk about it. But what I'm saying is, as a child, as a kid, as a minor, you know, that time is very important. And I think that's where I got that, where everybody that knows me knows if I say I'm going to do something, I feel obligated to do it. I feel like I need to stick to my word. And if I can't, I will tell you, I will say, hey, you know, because of my kids, you know, when they were coming up, it was like that, you know, mama, well, you said, so I had to hurry up and do it. I had to make it happen. I had to be superwoman and make that happen, because I didn't want things to happen to them, the things that happened to me. Like my father, I loved him very much, but you know, he was like one of these people that like to go. So he didn't always have time for me. You know, he would stop by my grandmother's house to see me and talk, but I wanted to make sure that, you know, I kept my word with them and I spent time with them. So I just want to say that's important to fathers and mothers. Make sure that you're spending time with your kids and keep your word. Don't break your promises, as Queen A said earlier.
Yes, very valid point, Serious K. Time is essential as well. And, you know, for our HMV fans, just know that, you know, the kids need both parents, the mom and the dad. Obviously, God created it that way. So they need both. They need the mom for the nurturing. They need dad for everything else. So, and, you know, and the thing is, if you want to even be more, I don't know if I want to say technical or more real about it, fathers need to be present in both their sons and their daughters' life, and in their daughters' life just as much, you know, to show them how they're to be treated. Because however you treat them, that's what they're gonna look for. They may not look for it all, because you know people do evolve, women do grow and evolve, so they won't continue.
That's what we discussed. The
Yeah,
sins
the sins of a father, right. So they won't look for it forever because they will eventually evolve, but you don't want them to go through that, at their young, tender ages of 18, 19, 20, through their 20s, they go through heartbreak and hurt, and then they're damaged, and then they have to go through, lifetime of counseling or whatever, work that they have to do with themselves. But they look for that treatment that you gave them as a little girl, and so there will come a time to where where you breathe them or bred them into this is how you treat, take them on that first dance, or if they don't have a date for the school dance or whatever, hey, you be that date. You know what I'm saying? So, and I see that a lot with the younger, of course, when they become teenagers, they find a date. They get a date. But
Yeah.
if not, and if they ask you, Dad, hey, come go to the prom with me, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing because you have the opportunity. This is how a young man should treat you from the beginning to the end. And as well as the sons, how we talk to them. I learn every day how we speak to them, how we treat them. They will look for that, those type of women. So we have to be cognizant constantly, every single day, with our children as we nurture them and rear them up into becoming young women and men. So and it does shift because a man needs to be with that son just as much to teach them about manhood. A woman, there are many women that have done excellent, jobs as far as raising their men. We have them right here, right before you, but it's nothing like them experiencing that father figure in their life and that growing up and wanting to the one thing they want to do is please their father. It's nothing like that. Even you yourself, moms, feel joy in your heart because their aim is to make sure that their father is pleased. I was watching a video on LinkedIn, and this guy had bought his dad, they were both, of course, adults, LinkedIn, and he bought his dad a Land Rover, I believe. And he was like, he's my everything. My dad has taught me how to be a man. I mean, I have this, I have that because of him. Do you not understand how that made his father feel, how he felt, how the mom felt, and everybody else, even how I felt? I don't even know them. So, I mean, this conversation can go a long ways, but we have run out of time. Did y'all have anything else to add?
We got to go, but I just want to say this real quick.
Prize.
We had, sorry, we have, okay. So one thing I wanted to add is that we spoke about this before, and we spoke about the sins of a father. And sometimes when you don't hold agreements, like those become triggers, right? So just giving a quick example, like when my father, growing up, he wasn't always available to me. So, and he will always say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and never done any of it. So when I meet a man, and although sometimes I think I dealt with that, but when I meet a man, or just anybody in general, but more so a man, and he is unavailable emotionally to me, or when he say he's going to do this, and he does not say anything or give me word as to why he did not keep that agreement, is a trigger for me. And that's something I have a hard time dealing with. So, and that's because of the agreements. And it's like, although I may need to work through that again, but it just shows a lot that sometimes that's why I say it's so important to hold your agreement to your child, to whoever, because that becomes a trigger and it carries on, and it becomes like the sins of the father. Like, so your child, they imitate what you do. So if you tell your child you're going to do this, and then they get older and then they do the same exact thing, they don't keep their word to their children. They don't even keep their word to the parent, because they imitated what they saw growing up. So that's very important to just honor your word. Yes.
Very important. So HMB fans, keep that in mind. We are here to heal the heart, renew the mind, all through the power of transparency. In other words, hearing about our lives. So y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We do have prize giveaway tonight. So we want whomever is tuning in to please email us and let us know what topic you enjoyed the most, how it has changed your way of thinking on a certain thing, and let us know your address and your phone number. No, is it right? Yeah, your address and phone number. So reach out to us at Heart Mind Voice Show. Heart Mind Voice Show at gmail.com. Again, that's heart, like heart, mind, voice show at gmail.com. Send us an email. Talk about one topic that we discussed tonight, how it has changed your way of thinking about certain things and how you're going to move forward and you're going to do better and whatever. Just give us the spiel. Be sure to include your address and your phone number. Okay? All right. So is there anything else that I'm leaving out, ladies? Nothing else? We love you. Please be sure to tune in next week. We have, we always have something brewing. The Heart, Mind, and Voice Show. Until then, we love you and we will see you next week. Bye.
Good night.